My eyes look fab. Oh. Howdy YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Happy 2025 and happy new Olympic cycle. I can't believe it's already here. It's come around very, very quickly. A lot is going to be happening this year and a lot has already happened in the last few months since I last posted on here. First things first, I am back living in Sydney, Australia. This is my new place. I actually have this really gorgeous attic office set up with like 3 skylights. It's pretty empty right now as to why I'm sitting on the floor. That means I'm no longer living in Belgium. I immensely enjoyed my time there for a year and a half, 2 years, however long I was there on and off. And I can't really thank that support team enough because what they did for me as a person, as an athlete, the growth they facilitated and the belief they instilled in me was on another level. So, thank you to Koen, my coach over in Belgium, as well as the rest of the support team there. I'll still be working with them time to time, especially when I come in to major events over in Europe, because why not beat the jet lag early and go utilize some world-class facilities and coaching teams. There were a few different reasons for that. One was visas. They're actually kind of difficult to chase up, surprisingly. So I guess the decision was kind of made for me, but I wasn't too mad about it because I did really miss my family and friends and the security and comfort of Australia. I will be going back there in about 5 or 6 weeks, which leads me to the next thing. I have been selected for the World Cup series, which is great. So originally I was selected for Croatia, Qatar and Egypt World Cups throughout, I think, April. However, I can only do Croatia, and that's essentially due to the funding situation. I'm not one of the 4 MAG athletes who will receive funding this year, and that's due to categorization, and you can check that list out on the GA website, I believe. Because I wasn't categorized for what I submitted, I received zilch. I'll tell you the cost of it. This isn't to complain, this is just to tell you guys the reality of what gymnastics is in Australia these days. So the cost for 3 World Cups was estimated to be 16,085 Australian dollars. GA are covering 50% of those costs, so that's helpful of course, but to spend $8,000 just on a few World Cups was just not an option, so I decided just to do Croatia. And I've also opted to do Luxembourg Open since that is an FIG event and should be utilized, or hopefully utilized, for World Championship selection later in the year. Anyway, I'm not going to complain too much. I do have social media and I do have my platform to generate income from brand deals and sponsorships, so I'm very fortunate for that because pretty much every other gymnast in Australia that didn't get any funding, they have to rely on working or family support. I've also opted to do World University Games as it is my last year of eligibility. I just graduated from my Communications Bachelor, finally. Now I'll quickly talk about where I'm at in gymnastics. We managed to film some content this week in the gym. As you know, I'm not doing all around anymore. I'm basically just training 3 to 4 events, and at the World Cups I will only be competing floor and high bar. Floor I think is going very well for this point in the year. I have all my skills and all my passes. This double pike will be better. I told you all, I'm a man of my word. Vault is really just a maintenance game right now. I'm also doing some half-on works, and I can do half-on full off, sometimes 1.5. It's not a focus for me, it's just about keeping my 2.5 ready for a team competition. So I'm doing vault about 2-3 times a week. High bar hasn't changed a whole lot since my last YouTube video. If you want to watch in depth of what I do in a high bar session, go and watch that. Because I'm just going to show you some Instagram clips I had from this week, because you guys have seen my high bar plenty. I don't need to show it every time in full context. But the routine we're planning is a 5-6 for Croatia qualifications, and then hopefully if I make final we'll go for a 5-9, and that's with the def, the winkler and the triple back. And for world championships later in the year, I want to go for a 6-1-2. My stoop half defs have gotten so much more consistent and mentally confident, and that's kind of where that's at. Oh yeah, and then I'm also doing pommel.
I'm on pommel, but let's pray for Australia that you never have to see me on the international stage on pommel again, because if you do, it means we're in big trouble. But basically I do pommel like once or twice a week at the moment, just to keep my strength and endurance up on it and maintain some skills. Still not taking it that seriously, but there is an odd chance, maybe Commonwealth Games or World Championships next year, where I'm needed for it, and you know, I want to be able to put my best foot forward for team selections and make myself versatile as possible. I was going to make a gay joke then, but I'm not going to. Anyway, so yeah, don't get too excited, although there's not really anything exciting about my pommel, but you won't be seeing me compete it this year, hopefully. Maybe at nationals just for fun, but also when it's pommel fun. That would only be in the case that my state team needs me, but yeah, we're thinking about it for next year, so may as well keep some maintenance up so we don't just have to jump into the deep end immediately in 2026. But you're definitely not seeing me on rings or PRs again, okay? Mark my words, it's not happening. And if it does, I'm being held hostage. Girl, that was like surprisingly good. Why is it better after I take like a year of pommel?
Also, to finish, I did a quick little Q&A on Instagram the other day, and I'm going to read out a few questions that you guys had, just to provide a little more transparency. Any non-gymnastics events or activities you're looking forward to? Ballroom events are always fab. I love them. It's a good escape from the rigidity of gymnastics. So there's a few balls coming up this year, and I'll be debuting in a Kiki house. So that's fun. Would love to know your diet / macro / meal plan. I don't really track my macros too much, and that's just due to my relationship with food. I find it plays in my mind a little bit too much, and I think it provides an unhealthy gateway to a relationship with food. That's just my personal experience. I know it helps a lot of people. I did track my macros a few weeks ago just to see if I was basically taking in enough food and protein, and what I found was I was roughly sitting at 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day, and protein was 150 to 200 grams of protein a day. But for the most part, I don't track. I just understand what I need to eat and what I need to fuel my body, so I just try and stick to that. Any goals this year? I mean, we touched on it briefly, but I think top 8 at World Championships would be a major goal on high bar, and that's basically everything I do this year is to support that goal. So yeah. Any upgrades you're working on this quad? Floor, I have 2.5 punch double front I've been playing with a bit, and 2.5 twisting double back, but floor isn't as much of a priority this season, so I'm just keeping a base 5-2 routine, which is pretty decent for the new code of points. But yeah, I think those are the upgrades, and then high bar, if I can get that 6-1, 6-2, I'm going to be a very happy man. I'd love to see you try tricking. Tricking scares me, and I mean that as all credit to you all, because some of the shit you do is crazy. But I think I'm a little bit too much of a perfectionist to have the tricking aesthetic. How long did it take you to catch your high bar combo? If you're talking about stoop half def, it only took me a few sessions, but it's been a 4 or 5 year process to get it to the consistent level it is now. Thoughts on adult gymnastics? Adult gymnastics is fab. Do it, honestly. It's such a great way to keep fit. It's fun, it's low pressure, you know, enjoy it. I think anyone should give it a crack and kind of see it as a way to, or whatever your goals are, whether that's fitness or movement, or just have a love for the sport in a different way if you're coming back from previous gymnastics experiences. Just enjoy it for what it is and enjoy the community that adult gymnastics provides, because it looks like a fab time, and I think I'll play with it a little bit when I'm older. I actually went to an adult gymnastics class the first session I came back after taking some time off after Oceania Championships, and it was such a perfect reintroduction into the sport for me. It was a lot of fun. Where would you like to travel this year? Other than competition travel, I really want to check out the Philippines and a bit of Southeast Asia. Are you coming to Luxembourg Open again? I sure am. Please vlog your entire workout. Well, this is pretty much the video already. Okay, I had this question twice. Where do I see myself by 2030? I think retired. In all honesty, I think my body, actually I'm not going to say my body because I think that's a myth. With maintenance, your body can withstand gymnastics a lot longer these days, but I think just holistically, I will be very much ready to step away from the sport by 2028 at latest. And I would love to get involved in some commentary or broadcasting, of course. But I'd also love to get into sport management and management, period. I really want to launch my own agency in the next year or two, so that's something I'm working towards. But I kind of hope I forge a career pathway where I have plenty of options, where I'm not pigeonholed into one career or one job. So we'll see what it looks like, but I'm just very much saying yes to as many opportunities as I can right now and hoping that leads me down the right path. And 2 drag questions. Do you like drag? And if so, do you like sporty drag? Sporty drag is so camp. Drag is fun. I love drag. And come party with drag queens in Amsterdam. Sure, I've done it before and I'll do it again. But anyway, I think that's everything for this video. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any video requests, please let me know. I would love to play with some ideas, especially now I have more capacity for it. And yeah, follow my other socials, you know where to find me. And I will see you guys in the lead-in to the World Cup series very, very soon. Alright, take care.